Welcome back to my channel. So we are continuing on the DBT for the beginners. So if you have not gone through my first video, then you can click on the I button and see. And today's lecture will be going to cover the DBT setup. Okay, so and for that we need first we need admin access. If you are having using a personal laptop, then you must be having the admin access. But if you are using your organization's laptop, then you can ask your admin team to give you access. Second, we need Python 3.10 and later versions, and we need a ID, like you can use Visual Studio and IntelliJ. So next we'll switch to the setup, and we'll continue further. Thank you.
Today we are going to cover the DBT setup, and for this there are few prerequisites. So as I discussed earlier, we need the admin access and we need Python 3.10 or later versions, and we need to set up the DBT, the latest version of the DBT, that is I think 1.4.1, and any ID you can use, but prefer Visual Studio and or IntelliJ. Okay, so first you need access. So for my system, I have already got the admin access. If you are using your personal laptop, so you must be having the admin access. But if you are using your organization's laptop, then you need to get the access from your admin team. Okay, and install the Python 3.10. So once your Python is installed, you can go to command prompt and check your Python is correctly installed or not. Okay, you can see I have installed 3.10.7, so Python is up and running. Okay, next we need to do the dbt setup. So for that, you go to command prompt. Okay, you need to write a command pip install then dbt-databricks. As we are running dbt on the Databricks environment, so that's why we're passing dbt-databricks. Okay, and pip is for all Python. It's a Python plugin installer, so all your Python related plugins will be installed in the system. So please click install, and it will consume some time, and it will download all the plugins for you. So it may take a couple of minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good to go. Pip is installed. So once your pip is installed, and what you need to do is like you have the admin access, so you go to your environment variable and set the path for your Python. So if you see, I have installed Python. So you can see in the program files. Okay, program files, you can see Python 3.10 I have installed. So this path you need to add it to your environment variable. I have already done in my system, so I'll show you how we need to do. So you can go for an edit environment variables, edit environment variables for your account. Okay, so here you can see there is a variable called path. Double click on this, and here you can add a new and paste the path. Okay, okay, paste the path till script. Okay, let it script should come. So here you can see we have the pip files. So for me, I have already added. You can see here I have already added, and once it is done, you can click OK. There is one more thing. Once you do the pip installation, so you may find one more folder for the dbt under your user account. Okay, so you go to users. There you can go to your account, and here you can see folder called app data. See, app data is a hidden folder, so by default it will be hidden. So to make this feature available, you need to go to view and tick the hidden items, show hidden items. So you can see the app data folder. Under app data, you can see under It may go to local folder or it may go to roaming. So just check on that where it is going once you do the installation. Once you can see here Python is there, go to Python, then go to Python 3.10. Okay, go to scripts, and here you have dbt. Okay, you can copy this path, go to edit environment variables for your account and click on path. Here also you need to add the path here. Once you have done your environment variable setup, please restart your system so that your setup is available for all over the system and you can access it anywhere. So once it is done, the next step is we need to check dbt is working or not. For that, you can install like the command of dbt. You can enter dbt, but it will give you a lot of options. What are the commands we have in dbt? But for time being, I am checking the version. So dbt space hyphen hyphen version, and now we can see what version we're using. Yeah. So installed version is 1.4.4. Okay, latest also the same. It's up to date, and Databricks also we have plugins we got installed. So this is your dbt is now up and running. So we need to create a new project. So for that, what you can do, you can click on, let me clear a, open a new command prompt. Okay, and what you need to do is like create a project. So dbt, then init, initialize dbt, and the project name, any project name I can give my first, my first, I can give any format first, dbt. So I have, okay, so once you give this init command, it will ask you which database would you like to use. So as we are working currently on the Databricks environment, so I am going to choose one. But if you're working on a Spark and Hadoop environment, you can choose two. Okay, so I clicked one, enter. Okay, now it will ask you things that you need to collect from your connection, or if you are having a Databricks or Hadoop cluster subscription, then you can make use of that. So host name, and host name you can get it from the Databricks cluster. Database cluster. So if once go to your Databricks cluster, go to compute, go to your cluster, then go to advanced option, and go to here we have, yeah, here JDBC ODBC. So here this is your host name. Okay, and you can copy your host name here, enter. So it will ask for you the HTTP path. So this is your HTTP path. You can copy it from here, enter, and then you need to give a token. So for time being, I have a token with me, but if you're doing it the first time, so you need to create a token for you. So what you can do is you can go to your dbt cluster. Once you can go to your user, okay, and here you can see user setting, then generate a token. Okay, so I have already noted the token, so I am not going to create a new one, but to reuse it. So token I have given. Now it is asking for the Unity catalog, so I will choose not to use Unity catalog. And this will be having a session. In the later session, I'll cover what is Unity catalog. Okay. And the schema, you can give any schema name. So I am giving dbt schema. Okay. So where your all the tables will be created. Okay. and you can, next it is asking traits, so you can choose one for one trait. Okay. Now it's done. You can see we are getting a message, happy modeling, and we are up and running, and our project is created. Let's see where my project is. You can go to your C drive under user. See, by default it will be created on this path. Under where you have the DBT, it will usually it creates here. But once you have done the path setup, environment variable path setup, so one after that, like it will come to your user account. So by default it will come to your user, and under user you can go to your user, and here you can see my first DBT project. Okay, so our project is created. Let's see how it looks. So what we are going to do is we are going to set up in the IntelliJ. So let me open the IntelliJ. It may take some time. Okay, so in our first session, I covered like we need there are a few major parts in the DBT project. So that is macros, models, and seeds. So that we'll cover in our later sessions in depth for each part. For time being, okay, IntelliJ is open. What we can do is go to open, file, open, then paste your the project path and click OK, new window. Yeah, here you can see our project is ready, and you can see the project. And by default, DBT gives you two models, that my first DBT model and my second DBT model. And we have the schema.yml where we have configured our table. So what DBT does is like whatever query you write in a model, it will create a table for you in the remote and in a cluster, and you can do operation on that. Like if you do want any transformation, you want any transformation kind of what we can do in our ETL world, that you can perform, but you have to write it in a SQL. So, and whatever tables you are going to use, you can configure here. So you can see here I am having models, then model name and the columns in the model, and what are the constraints usually we have on the tables, right? So those constraints will be we can add it here. Okay, this is one part. Second is we need two more files that DBT must have created for you while doing the setup. So go to user and go to .dbt folder. In that you will see you profile.yml file. Copy this one and add it to your folder, add it to your project. Editor project profile.yml. Okay, here you can see we have the host and HTTP path and the token. So as the token I have, I'll copy this token here. So let's see what is happening. I now have the profile.yml, and if I'll and to test if the connection is working fine or not. So what we need to run. Okay, for those who are doing it the first time, they may face some issue while running DBT here. It may throw you that DBT is not recognized. No need to worry about that. Once you have done your path setup correctly, it will come correctly. If path setup is not correct, then you may face issues. So you can redo the environment variable path setup. Okay. So okay, now what we can do is like our DBT connection is happening or not, that we can check here. So for that we have a command called dbt-debug. Okay. Okay, what it is telling, we are getting a runtime error, connection test error. So it's not able to connect to the DBT. That is because this issue usually comes once you have that token issue. So actually, if you see here in my profile.yml, my token value is incorrect. So I can paste correct value and then I can try it. Yes, now we can see the DBT version we have seen, the Python version and the profile YML path, DBT project YML path, and the required dependencies, everything is set up and all checks are passed and your project is ready. So let's see, we have the model here, the sample model. If I want to see a table out of this model, so what I can do is like I have to run the project. For that, the command is dbt run, okay, and hyphen mm for the model and the model name. So what you can do is copy your model name and click enter. Yeah. So your dbt is running. You can see the tests. DBT under which schema you have added in your profile.yml. You can go through this and schema we have added DBT schema, so it will create a schema for you, and under that the table will be created. There is one more file we saw, that is dbt project.yml. Okay, so this project, this is a main, this is your main project starting point, where you can see your project name. Your profile name should be same as the profile.yml, and here you can see there are a couple of paths is defined. So by default, DBTs give you this. So if you can see every model, everything we are having a folder in your project architecture. Okay, and whatever the targets, like when you run a run a model, so automatically it will create a file for you in the compiled or ran file. It will create in the target folder. Along with that, we have models. In models, this is the project name, and under example folder, we have the materialized views. So by default, the materialization is view, but we can change it to table, incremental, or any other kind. So that will cover in the next session. Uh, for timing, our TBT run is completed successfully. Let's see our table, how the table looks like. So what you have to do is you have to go to your cluster, go to data. Okay, so in under data you have schema, and here you can search dbt schema, dbt schema. Yeah, you can see our first dbt model table is created, and we have the data here, one id as one. That's all, like our dbt project first model is successfully loaded into the cluster. Next session will cover on the what are the kind of uh, models we can write and how to test those models in the local folder, and and later we can check on the macros and other things will be covered. Okay, so yeah, now this is all about this current session. Thank you, have a great day, and please do like, subscribe, and share my channel. If you have any doubts, any you face any difficulty in your uh, setup, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I'll try to help you out. Thank you. See you in the next session. Bye bye.